All right, welcome to Standing Tall Today Yoga. If you haven't caught any of my live classes this week, you probably noticed I've been lacking on the actual vinyasas. So I did hurt my hands, so I will be talking through some vinyasas today, but avoiding them myself because I can't put any pressure on it. But for the most part, we're going to be standing, so it shouldn't be a problem. So let's come to the top of our mat, toes. Big toes together, heels apart, maybe about a fist or 2 fists apart. We're taking a nice big inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Soften the knees here. And if your hands can't come to the ground, that's okay. You can just hang on to the shins. But start with a nice generous bend in those legs. As we just start taking some deep breaths here in this forward fold. If you want to go a little deeper here, you can clasp your hands and just place them on the back of your neck, along the part of your skull. We're not pulling, just adding a little extra weight to stretch out the spine. Just breathing here. Let's take one more big breath. And exhale, release a big one. Release our hands as we inhale, halfway lift, flatten out the back. Exhale, fold over, soft knees. As we inhale, sweep the arms up, come to rise, palms come together, heart center. I'm just going to turn the sides here so you can see. So we're going to exhale, sit back into almost a little chair here, but we're going to put our hands on our thighs. So I'm going to take a nice big inhale, to scoop the chin up, press the chest forward for our standing cow, and as I exhale, I'm going to tuck my chin, pop the spine up, standing cat. Inhale, come forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, tuck the chin, really puff out. Do one more of each. Nice inhale, and exhale. Come back to a nice neutral spine, and let's just stand up straight. We're going to lift our arms up overhead, and we're going to grab opposite arm, opposite elbow. We're just going to pull those shoulders out of the socket, pull into the ears. Exhale, pull them back down, keeping them there. Keeping the core tight, soften the knees as much as you want. You may want to bring those feet hip width apart just for a little stability. Take a nice big inhale here. And I'm going to start to trace my arms over to the right side. Nice lateral bend here. As I bend as far as I can, I'm going to bring the left elbow down, drawing myself lower and lower into a forward fold. Now leading with the left elbow coming up until you come up as far as you can. Open up that right arm. Nice, slow and controlled. Back to top. This time let's go the other way. Take a nice big inhale here. So we start just laterally bending over to the left as far as you can. Then collapse that right elbow in, coming down to that forward fold. Just breathe at a normal pace here. And as we move over to the right side, open that left elbow up towards the front and come back to standing. Good. Release your arms. I'm just going to turn so you can see me behind. We're going to clasp our hands behind. Soften the knees. I'm going to pull the shoulder blades down and back and just lift up through the chin just a little bit. Take a nice big inhale here. As you exhale, pull those shoulders down just a little bit more. If you want to go deeper, you can lift those hands up just off that tush just a little bit. Take one more big breath here. Good. Release the hands. Let's bring them to prayer. I'm just going to step to the top of my mat here. Take a nice big inhale here. Core tight. As I exhale, I'm going to send my hips back to chair and tuck them in. So we're not sticking that butt out. Tuck it in and get as low as you can. Just take a few breaths here. Really sink nice and low here. Feel those quads engage. Stuff that core and keep it nice and tight. One last breath here. Good. Let's take the left elbow and we're going to hook it on the outside of the right knee. We're going to twist over to that right side, making sure the left knee doesn't come forward, it stays in line. I'm pressing the palms together. Or I can bring my right hand to my thigh and my forearm to my knees. If I can't quite twist all the way, I'm working on twisting over to the right. Send those hips down. Take one last breath here. Good, and we're gonna start to lift the left heel up, putting all the weight in the right foot. And we're gonna step back here into a nice twisted lunge. If you can't quite do that, that's okay. Come into lunge however you feel comfortable. As you inhale, bring the arms up. Nice high lunge. If you need to straighten that right leg and then sink a little deeper here. Maybe tucking those hips under so you get a nice stretch along that hip flexor. Relaxing the shoulders, spreading the fingers. Take one more breath here. Straightening the legs. I'm going to drop the back heel 45 degrees. Exhale, lunge into that right leg here, warrior one. Good. Just settling in, making sure our hips start to square off to the front. Make sure the outside of that left foot presses forward. Let's take one more breath here. Good. I'm going to bring my hands to reverse prayer. If you can't come to reverse prayer, grab opposite elbows, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take a little step in, a foot or so with that left leg, straighten the right leg. This is very important to keep those hips squared off. Sticking that chest out as you exhale, hinging over, keeping a flat back into our pyramid. Nice intense hamstring stretch here. Make sure you keep a little micro bend in that right knee. Don't want to overextend it. Try to sink a little deeper on those exhales. But making sure that back stays nice and flat. Lengthen out the spine. Try not to look at me. Take one more breath here. In the core tight, as you inhale, come to rise. You're going to soften the right knee. Release the arms. We're going to try and balance here. I've got my wall here just in case. I'm going to bend into that right knee. Inhale, lift that left knee up. I'm going to cross it over. I'm going to turn and face you here. Standing figure four. All right, let's bring the palms back to heart center if you can balance. If not, feel free to use a chair or wall or furniture. As we exhale, you're going to bend into that right knee, keeping that left knee externally rotated to that nice chair position. If you can bring those arms all the way down to that left leg. If you struggle with balance, you can even bring your fingertips to the ground. This is as far as we're going to go today. So just focus on lengthening out the spine. Let's take one more big breath here. As we inhale, let's come to rise. Woo, release that left foot down. I'm going to walk you through a flow, but I'm going to stay in a forward fold. As we inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, folding over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over, plant the hands. You're going to hop or step back into plank and lower down into chaturanga. You can drop to the knees if you have to. As you inhale, just lift the chin, lift the chest, a little baby cobra here. Exhale, come down. We're going to push through our knees and into downward facing dog for a few breaths. So again, I can't put any pressure on my right hand, so I'm going to stay in forward fold while you guys hold your dog. Making sure we're pressing all fingertips into the mat. Maybe walk out that dog here. Alternate pressing one heel into the ground and then the other. Getting a good feel for that dog. When you're ready, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to hop or step our hands to our feet. As we inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Come to rise, palms come together. Exhale, to the front side. Alright, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Lengthening out through the crown of the head. Take a nice big inhale here. As you exhale, send those hips back into chair, tucking the hips under, keeping the core engaged. Just finding balance here. Maybe lifting all your toes up so you can spread them out nice and wide for a good grip. Remember, sink a little more if you can. Challenge yourself here. Take one more breath here. And your next inhale, let's get ready to twist here. So lengthen out the spine. As you take your exhale, we're gonna hook the right elbow this time on the left knee, twisting over. Again, you can always modify, bring the right arm down to the forearm, left arm to the back. Always we're pressing into our hands, looking over the left shoulder, pulling that right knee back, sinking down, guys, that's it. You've got it. Hopefully those quads are screaming at you just a little bit, or maybe that's just us from all that up and down our stairs from unpacking. Take one more big breath here. All right, you're gonna lift the right heel up this time, and then you're gonna send it back into a nice lunge. If you can't quite do that, you can untwist and then just join us here. Twisting in our lunge, a little bit of a modified revolve side angle here. Bending into that left knee here. Take one more breath. I'm gonna pivot the right foot 45 degrees. Inhale, let's come up. Ooh, I lied, lift up the right heel again. I'm gonna lunge still. Lunge into that hip. Tuck the hip under, maybe bend the right knee just a little bit so you can sink deeper and stretch out that right hip flexor right there. That's it. All right, let's pivot that back to 45 degrees into warrior one. Turning those hips forward, relaxing the shoulders. Pressing through the outside edge of that right foot as you lunge. One more breath here. Let's bring our arms behind us, warrior one, or reverse prayer. Reverse prayer or modified with me. I'm just gonna step my right foot in, just a foot or so. Keeping that foot 45 degrees and then straight to the left leg. Sticking that chest out nice and flat. Take a nice big inhale to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, micro bend the left knee, hinging over. That's it. Tuck that left hip and make sure it stays in line with the ankle and the knees. It's okay if you can't come all the way down to that knee. You really want to keep that back flat though to stretch out that left hamstring. Let's take one more breath here. As you inhale, come to rise. You're going to soften that left knee, release your arms, maybe use something about it. As we inhale, sweep the right knee up, lift it up, and we're going to cross ourselves into our figure four on the other side. So find your balance again. You can use a chair here or some kind of furniture. Up to you. If you find your balance, bring yourself to prayer. This is all you can do. That's fine, stay here. But if you want to get a deeper stretch, you can find some furniture or you can sink back, keeping yourself nice and lined into that chair pose, flexing the right ankle. You can bring your arms all the way down, or you can bring those fingertips to the ground, lengthening out the spine. All right, we can come down here. Breathe, guys. Slow that breath pace down. I know I don't do a lot of balance, but that's because I need to work on it. One more breath here. Good. As you inhale, come to rise. Release that foot down. We're going to do a full flow here. Again, I walk you through it. You can stick to modified or come to a full flow. As we inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, you can plant the hands, soften the knees, jump back or step into plank, and lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, lift up, downward facing dog. We're gonna hold the dog for a few breaths, then we'll get some water. I'm getting a really good hamstring stretch today. Let's take one more big breath here. Good. We can all drop down to our knees and take a nice drink of water. We are going to start in a standing pose. So we are going to start in a balancing pose. So again, if your balance is a little weak, you can always have a chair, wall, or piece of furniture close by. Alright, when you're ready, we're going to start at the top of our mat. Bring the big toes together here, maybe 2 fists wide out with the heels, so they're kind of under your hips. We're going to just have our palms facing forwards, fingers spread. Let's just close our eyes here. Relaxing the shoulders, but lengthening out through the crown of the head. And as your eyes close, maybe you feel yourself swaying or moving a little bit, or maybe you're totally strong. Just kind of take notice here of your body. Finding a little stillness, hopefully within the mind. If you can't, with the body. That's okay, this takes practice. I'm still swaying sometimes too. So really focus, slow down that breath pace. 2 more breaths here. Nice, slow, big and long. Last one. Good, let's open those eyes. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. I'm just going to straighten out my feet here. I'm going to soften my left knee just to support myself. And as I inhale, I'm going to lift up my right knee here. Just a modified Utthita Hasta Padangusthha A. If you really want, you can straighten the leg and go for a C, but we're just going to hold a nice bend knee here, 90 degrees, have the foot flexed. And as I inhale, I'm going to lengthen the spine. I'm going to release my hands, airplane mode. And I'm going to start swaying the right leg back, stepping back into a lunge. I'm going to have my arms by my side. I'm just going to hinge over just a little bit so my back is in line with my legs. So I sink into that left knee. If you have to modify your stance, that's okay. Sinking a little deeper. Inhale, just bring the torso up. I'm going to pivot the back foot 90 degrees. Exhale, we're going to sink into warrior 2. Arms come wide. Make sure we're sticking that butt out, tucking them in. Make sure you're firm grip with your feet. So check those feet out. Make sure the knee, front knee, left knee's not going over the toe. You should still see that big toe. Making sure you're not locking out the right knee. Reach those fingertips nice and far away from each other. Exhale, sink a little deeper into this lunge. One more breath here. Maybe sink a little deeper here. Now you're going to inhale, straighten the left leg, flip the palms to face the side of the room. Then inhale, I'm going to just start to reach my fingers forward, tilt my hips back. And I'm going to start tilting my left fingers all the way to my left knee here, triangle. Right fingers come up. You can always grab onto that left knee. I don't like using a block here. I find it's a bit of a hindrance. But make sure your butt's not starting to stick out to the left. Tuck it in. If you find you're crunching too much in the side, just come up a little bit. I want you to keep a nice long spine. The only thing that should be twisting or crunching is that neck if you're looking up. Sending those hips back, but micro bending the left knee. One more breath here. Good. Inhale, back up, warrior 2. Sink a little deeper. Let's drop the right hand by the side or behind the back. Flip the left and trace across the sky. Reach up. Exalted warrior here. Still lunging deep. Maybe looking up to those left fingertips if you'd like. Or just over to the right side. Whatever feels comfortable on that mat. So continue to press the outside edge of that right foot down. One more breath here. Good, let's come back, warrior 2. 2 breaths here. Sink a little deeper if you can. breath. And next inhale, we're gonna windmill our hands, frame the left foot, lift the right heel, step back up. So everybody just stay in a nice forward fold here. Let's grab opposite arm, opposite elbow here for a nice little ragdoll. So you can choose to straighten up those legs or keep them soft. So let me feel a little bit of stretch behind the back of those legs. Maybe you want to do a little rocking here. You never want to quite lock out those knees. You're never too young to have knee pain. Just be kind to them. Just take a little special note how those hamstrings are feeling. I'm going to get you to float here in a second. I'm going to stay here. You can always stay in forward fold with me if you don't want to do a vinyasa. Otherwise, you're going to release your hands. You're going to soften your knees. You're going to hop or step back into plank when you're ready. You're going to lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just hold your dog for a few breaths. Press out through all the edges of those fingertips. Externally rotate, tucking those arms in, keep the shoulders strong. Last breath here. Alright, so planting those hands firmly, keeping the legs as straight as you can for as long as you can. You're going to walk your feet towards your hands. So I always like to do a little bum lift up. And when you get to the point you can't anymore, that's okay. Bend the knees and then just meet us in the forward fold. Good. We're going to inhale, half up. Exhale, fold forward. Soft knees as we inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Palms come together. Let's release them to our hands. All right, we're going to do our next side of our flow. As we inhale, we're going to soften the right knee, and then let's bring the left knee right up. Making sure, trying to make sure we're not hip hiking, keeping the hips level, rooting down. Make sure you create this nice 90-degree bend at the hips and knee if you can, as you flex the foot. Finding that balance. Remember, if you fall out, just come back into it. That's okay. Quads nice and strong. Last breath here. Good. Let's release our hands by our side. Our plank arm. And just start to tilt the left leg back. We're going to step back to our high lunge as we hinge just a little bit over in the hips so our body becomes aligned with that leg. Lengthening out through the crown of the head. Pull the shoulder blades almost like you're trying to lift that back pocket as we lunge into that right leg. Keep the core tight. Try and keep those hips in line, but scissor them open here as you lunge. One more breath here. Good. Inhale, just bring the torso up. We're going to pivot into warrior two. Drop the left heel 90 degrees. Open the arms out to our T. Bring our gaze to our right middle finger. Opening up those hips. Sink a little deeper. Again, let's be mindful of our feet. So make sure you can see that right toe beyond the knee. And make sure you're pressing all parts of the left foot into the mat this time. Getting nice and strong. Tuck those hips under so our butt's not sticking back as we lunge a little deeper. Make sure those arms are strong. Bring the left arm up if it's sagging. Exhale, sink deeper. Last breath here. Good. Let's straighten the right leg. Flip the palms to face the left. I'm going to send my hips back as I start reaching the right hand forward. As I inhale, reach. As I exhale, I'm going to start to tilt the right hand to the right leg. Left arm comes straight up again. We don't need to come all the way down and feel a little crunch on that side. I want you to focus on lengthening out today. Again, if you can balance, bring your gaze to those left fingertips. Make sure your butt's tucked in, keeping that left hip, knee, ankle in alignment, and micro-bending the right. Take 2 more big breaths here. Really reach those arms apart. And work down through the foundation of our feet. Really important in our standing poses. Good. Inhale, let's come back, warrior 2. Lunge. Spread the arms. Just find that balance here. Find that quad engagement. Good. This time you're going to drop the left arm either to the side or behind your back. Flip the right palm. Let's trace it across the sky. Focusing on lengthening here as we still lunge. Maybe looking just a little bit up towards the sky. As long as you keep that left foot on the ground, firmly planted in all 4 corners. Good. Inhale, back, warrior 2. Find that balance. Last breath here. I'm going to windmill my hands. Bring the right foot, lift the left heel. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog. I'm going to take my forward fold, guys. If you want optional flow, or stay in your dog. As you inhale, come towards plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Keep that back strong. Inhale, lift up, dog or cobra. Exhale, lift up, downward facing dog. Let's focus on that dog for a second. Trying to pull those heels down towards the ground so you lengthen up, lifting the tailbone up so you can stretch the entire back side of those legs. Alright, we're going to all drop down to our knees, bring our knees mat width apart, bring the big toes together and exhale. Let's come down to a wide-legged child. So you can bring your forehead to the ground. This is how we're going to finish our practice today. So make sure you get comfortable and walk your hands out. You can keep your hands active. Like I said, I can't press into my right palm. I'm going to keep my forearms down. Maybe you want to walk your fingertips a little further forward. Just want to exhale and focus on sinking those hips down. Maybe a gentle rock. Your practice. This is how we're going to finish today. Notice the next up, changing things up, keeping it a little different. Sunday. Focusing on breathing here. A little mental check-in, see how you feel. Maybe replay some of your poses today, how you felt in them. Whether it's negative or positive, just acknowledge that. Maybe take note if you had good balance. Or just generic, normal. Maybe you just didn't have great balance. That's okay. Every day is a different day. So just take this moment to reflect on your practice. Lock it away for future. Just focus on breathing here and letting yourself melt. Maybe you want to bring your hands to prayer. Lift them up, coming to the back of your neck. You can press down into your chest, get a little bit deeper. You don't have to. Take a few last breaths here and then we're going to close. Thanking your body for showing up today. Thanking your feet for the standing practice, for supporting you, balancing you. being your foundation. Thank you for your fellow yogis for joining me today and sharing the energies of our yoga community. Of course, from the light of me to lighting you. Namaste.